And we are back. Told you it wasn't going to be long. Our teams are anxious to get right back out to the server. And on the side of Garnet Valley, I can't say that I really blame them. I would imagine not wanting to overcook things here and overanalyze things, right? Maybe just feeling shots weren't hitting. Let's go back to a new map and see if just a quick reset is all that's needed. We had mentioned that we were on our way off to Bind. To start things off, we will have Garnet Valley on the attacking side. And hopefully for them, Bind treats them a little bit more favorably, because otherwise it feels like I feel like this is one of those situations where if CB South does get that momentum going, they're just going to ride the wave across the finish line here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the main things to look for in this bind as well is before the game even starts. I mean, the match starts at agent select, so just like reminiscing onto what happened in Haven. I don't know how I didn't pick up on this before, but like they had a Reina Clove. Like that is like based on what they were doing in the map, it kind of completely makes sense, right? It did feel like they were just kind of playing ranked. Like they went in without too much of an idea, and they're like, okay, let's just vibe it and see how it goes. And
Right.
it went, right? So we'll see if it ends up going the same way or not, because Central Bucks, I mean, these guys have a pretty standard comp. Like this is what you want to bind. Maybe you could replace like one of these agents with a Cypher or something, but now I guess after all the nerfs, it might not even be worth it. So they're going with double, well, I almost say double info. They're going with double initiator, one with a breach, so not too much info there, but they have a fade for dogs and for whatever, and for the breach for flashes. So they've kind of got a sky split up into two. Garnet Valley had a sky last map too, there's been a lot of confusing things, and this time they're being a little bit more sensible with the most outlandish agents, I think, being the Tejo and the ISO, which we're seeing less and less play of nowadays after all the nerfs. But this one isn't as egregious as last time. They don't have a Reina, so I think they could be pretty. Even if the shoot first, ask questions later strategy fails, I think they have a fallback plan for this one.
Let's get down into it. Every round of Valorant starts the same, and well, that's the pistol round. They weren't very friendly to Garnet Valley on our first map. Matter of fact, they dropped both of them and kind of started off both halves in a little bit of a rough spot. So I feel like for them, would really like to get off to a hot start here and see if they can pick up the pistol round. They do have the ability to control the pace of the game, being the one starting off on the attacking side. We had talked about how it felt like they were unable to really control the pace. So let's see if they can do it here.
Oh, I'm gonna be going right in through. Okay, well, that's not a great start. It's gonna be a little bit better. Some damage taken by a couple members of Garnet Valley as well. The Breach and the ISO both taking shots from the two members inside the showers, but they do have an even man count for the time being. And this rotate coming out from the deadlock is going to take a little bit. Already with a great shot through smoke to take out Beast. And Astro is going to blind walk out of the smoke and take Drago out as well. It's still not looking terrible. They still got a 2v3, but they're completely committing on this fight right now. All these duels and showers, they are not letting go of this position, and Central Bucks decide, hey, it's ours to begin with, and they just take it back by storm.
You know, often when we see teams that are very tightly contested and when it feels like a squad is starting to question themselves, you just say, hey, you know, go back on the server and remember who you are. I don't know if that's the best feedback for Garnet Valley right now, because you mentioned kind of feels like they're just playing more of that pub stomp sort of ranked matchup here. Maybe not so much to start things off on the second map, but it felt like there was a time where they probably could have pulled out of showers and reassessed the situation instead. We're just very stubborn and wanted to continue amongst things. So it does look like a push here towards towards B. I'm sorry. Nick, though, very quickly and get access onto site, has the stinger, will step through the smoke and gonna be able to take down Lana Del Slay.
All right, sometimes the strat can work, you know, they run right in, they run through the smokes with the closer range weapons they have, and that's exactly what you want to do against these phantoms and all that stuff that can shoot you from longer range. There's a couple different engagements happening inside of Elbow here, not exactly the fight you would want to take one by one, and the slide out as well, still not looking too good, but there go the stingers. That's exactly what you want to see from the side of Garnet Valley.
Just as we were talking about how it felt like at time Garnet Valley was kind of just running and gunning, maybe seeing CB South making a little bit of the same mistake, almost a little bit of overheating, it felt like from Artie. Was like, hey, you know what? We've got most of them. Let's just step through the smoke. I'm expecting that stinger on the other side, taking down those final two. So now the Econ kind of in that very precarious spot, right? Essentially just going to have to go into a save round here for CB South a little sooner than I'm sure they would have liked to. It's just unfortunate that as far as for them, they weren't able to capitalize on the advantage in the gunnies.
Well, similar scenes here. Straight through short, and they do make it onto site, as most of the central box is actually posted up inside of showers. Looking good. Nikto is going to go all the way over the top of truck and take out the rotate, coming in from the spawn. But the plant is down. Drago with a response.
Guarding here.
That's gracious. They took no time to get onto the site. They just went ahead and got right down to business. Here's Potato Stalker, finds one. Oh my goodness, but Beast pops off again late in the round. Last time it was a 3K. This time a 3K here as well, and it gives them their first lead of the series.
Man, that's a... What a sentence. That's not exactly what you want to be hearing for Garnet Valley, but I guess it is technically good news. They do have the rifles coming into this one, but the Central Bucks also are looking at the same. They have enough to get at least full rifles and not armor for every single member on their team, and Potato Stalker is going to opt for the Odin after this past champs. I mean, we have really been... It's been a plague, I gotta admit, but I guess it is a thing that exists in the game, so you can't really complain too much. Right into this A site once again by Garnet Valley, 5 men, and there goes the ult, and there is the only defender that's on the site been taken away and taken out. Already gets removed by the kill contract of Astro, and the plant once again is going to be attempted, and it looks like Wyvern will get it off.
Again, quickly able to access the site, get that thing down. Oh, Astro's looking the long way, but Wagyu didn't have the gun in hand. It will be Nikto who's looking towards Showers as they step through a couple of frags here. Now all of a sudden there's a chance for CB South, Lana Del Slay, and Drago. The 1-2 combo getting a pair apiece, and that'll bring things back to a tie at 2.
Well, it looked good for a couple rounds, and then Central Bucks kind of woke up, and I guess that's the danger of a chaotic round like this one, right? Because like it sometimes it works when you just kind of throw everything at your opponents and make sure that no one knows what's happening. It did work for B. Like when you ran through all the smokes with the stingers, like Central Bucks had no idea where they were coming from, so not much you could do. But in this sense, Garnet Valley also. If Central Bucks don't know what's happening, then Garnet Valley surely don't know what's happening, and they get flanked from both. If I'm correct, they flanked from A short and from lamps, which is not entirely a flank. But you know, like it's just it's hard to guarantee consistency when you have situations where you are purposefully making things inconsistent, right? And that's the problem with Garnet Valley's playstyle right now. They can't really. Or it looks like they don't have plans to make things consistent. And this is the first round in quite a while where they've had players pretty much be across the map, because every other round so far in the first 4 rounds, they've had 5 members on the same side of the map. And unfortunately, it doesn't work because they're running into an Odin. But I darn sure hope that that is not what tells them that this kind of strategy doesn't function, as I hope that's not going to happen every single time, right? You're not going to run into an Odin every single round.
It's a crazy round that goes down. It's a clean round to be able to put one on the board here for CB South. Figure out what's going on, and yeah, I'm not exactly sure, but hey, you know what? We'll keep moving forward. It feels like back and forth where Garnet Valley was able to, but you see they're asking us as far as the question chat. I don't think we have the ability to roll back, but yeah, I guess as far as for now, you know, you keep moving forward for Garnet Valley. You've been able to put yourself in a situation where you're still in things here. You mentioned map number 1 hadn't gone in your favor, but here so far they've been right in the fight. Let's see if they can keep things up.
That's a decent little entry for Central Bucks once again. Drago being the one to open it up this time, and tail ult coming from the back of A. I don't really know if that does very much, but there it goes. Clears out the lamps position. They haven't really been able to get in because Central Bucks has rotated all their firepower over towards this A site. There goes a spike as well, so still not looking great. That's a great flick from Potato, continuing this bloodbath over towards short. And there goes the shield, but he's not the one to take out Astro. It's Lana Del Slay, and Artie's going to be the one to close out the round. Once again, 5-man towards A. Central Bucks meet them at the guns.
Well, since the rifles have come into play here for the Titans, they have looked incredibly clean. Was what a flawless round in round number, or I guess they would have had rifles. I'm guessing. I'm sorry, in round number 4, they did have one. But man, talk about as far as to start things off here. You have Garnet Valley trying to put up a fight, but we find ourselves in a similar scenario, kind of in. That we were in map number 1, where we're getting close to that middle of the round, and look at that, 4 ults on the board here for CB South. It just feels like they have all the control.
Yeah, it's really it's tough. What this is one of we do have a little bit of a tech pause right now, so I'm not entirely sure if Garnet Valley yeah, okay, they're going back to get the spike. But yeah, like overall, it's been kind of a tough situation to diagnose, even over the course of the 2 maps, right? Because right now we're in map number 2, and there was a little bit of life, I think, similar to what we had on Haven for the side of Garnet Valley, but it's like the same kind of situation where they had 2 rounds where they did kind of good, but it was because they had that kind of unpredictability. And yeah, maybe in Haven it might not have been that chaotic, and then I gotta admit, they did do pretty well. Like Ethan did quite good to land that clutch over towards the B site on that defuse, and then over towards C as well. This time it has gotten even a little bit more crazy. So if they're gonna keep going for this kind of play style, we'll see if it ends up working. This is the first round ever in this matchup that we've actually seen a default across the map. Unfortunately for them, Astro actually loses his life first over towards the showers position, and but more wisely, I would say, Ethan actually backs out of that spot, and Beast gets a kill across the map. Wyvern and Nikto lose their fights respectively through mid and B. But Beast is making some stuff happen over towards his B site. He's cleared out the entire site, actually. And Ethan has the spike in hands and has plenty of room for the rotate, but I think Artie is going to be onto him.
Artie is on to him, but Artie has gone the wrong way. Went through the middle and then tried to check onto that back lane. And luckily enough, Ethan had already made their way across. So Ethan will be able to make their way towards Beast over on B and eventually get this spike down. They will still be in a 2v3 on the retake. And Ethan still is yet to find their first frag here in map number 1. So right now, or sorry, map number 2. So I mean, they're in a tough spot if they're looking to try and secure a round for the Jaguars.
Yeah, there is a massive flank coming out from the attacker side of the map. That's everyone from Central Bucks over towards the side. That's 3 ults as well. And none of Garnet Valley are looking this way. That's a weird little positioning issue from the side of Ethan. I'm not entirely sure how that happened, but hold on a second. Beast can't get it done. Almost every single frag in the round needed to ace to win that one out. And just ever so close, not able to pull it across the line. Artie is the one to open up on the A site and close it over towards B.
Well, the good news is they're at least getting closer over on that Garnet Valley side, right? And the good news is that means...
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that one. That one's thinking emoji.
Yeah, actually, let's oh, we are so, you know, hey chat, actually let's do this. How about we take ourselves a quick little break here so we can check on something here in the back, and we will be back with y'all here in just a moment. All right, we do apologize about that. We were able to get things all settled up in the background. Let's go ahead and get moving forward and have some good old rounds of Valorant, shall we? It's still 5-2 here in favor of CB South, as they are looking to try and put themselves over that, or I should say over the halfway point, but towards that halfway point here. And it's the Odin that sings for Potato Stalker. We'll have to step back through the doorway, though, to make sure they don't fall.
All right. I mean, Beast does open it up quite well. There was a slight response, but the thing is, Drago has found himself all the way on the back lines. Nice clothesline onto Wyvern. Instant slowdown from the rest of the players on the side of Garnet Valley, realizing that this player has infiltrated their back lines. Doesn't end up mattering if they can't remove him from this little bug of a position. 2-on-4 very quickly as soon as we get back into the action, and the spike dropped behind them as well. Not looking great. Central Bucks having a double hold over towards this oh so important objective, and the rest of the members of Garnet Valley are just looking towards the site, trying to maybe bulldoze on forward instead of backwards, but they're not going to be able to win the round like this, and probably only just looking to save this point with the op in their back pockets.
Yeah, they don't have a spike. I mean, Nicto will be able to take down Potato Stalker, so at least, as you had mentioned, save the op, especially as there is no one left over here towards B. Shortly after hearing the op sing towards B, though, there's really no need to go chasing it down if you're CB South. You've got the spike. You've secured yourself a 6th round on the board. At this point, you just continue to cruise.
Yeah, it's nice and calm around the map. Even Artie is looking at the teleporters to make sure no one goes for any kind of quick escape towards A and not to B. Garnet Valley at least do have a full buy into this one. They have full rifles and armor. This hasn't happened in quite a while. Both teams actually having the funds to go for pretty much full investments across the board. So this is the first round in a long time we see a completely even economy of weapons, armor, even ultimates across both the teams. And I would say advantage Garnet Valley in this instance, because Beast is 1 away from this Armageddon and Astro's 1 away as well from that kill contract. There's a lot of tools for Garnet Valley to be able to make this round happen. And with that shield, it goes through. Unfortunately, Wyvern goes down because of it, but Astro does continue going on for just 1, but it ends up all done and dusted for Central Bucks because Alt responded on in kind. Good results from Beast, though. Quick headshot and a turn onto the flash from Potato Stalker. But they got a lot more to do onto this A if they want to recover the spike. And it has been done, but it's still a 2-on-2.
Hold on, though. Wagyu's going to be able to find 1, which means Nicto will be the last player left alive. They have been able to get the spike, however, so quickly over to B they go. Spike goes down, and now a different clock starts counting its way on down. Nicto will look to play on the backside in the backside of sight, see if maybe they can catch Wagyu off guard. We'll be able to turn the corner and find 1.
Excellent so far. A dash ready, and there it goes. Lana now with the pressure on, goes for the half. I mean, pros don't stink. Hold on a second, Nicto. What is that timing? That was perfect from Lana. Perfect read on exactly what the Jet would do over on the side of Garnet Valley. And Central Bucks, even backed against the corner, managed to clutch it out.
That's so tough. You know they're on the spike. I feel I'm gonna just be honest. I feel like popping knives gives the indication that you're turning the corner there, whereas if you just bust out the gun, you turn the corner, you find the heady. Plus, I mean, you're using your knives for 1 player. I understand it's 6-2. You really feel the pressure and the need to secure that round. But not only do you fail to secure the round, but now you're empty on your ult as well. It's just an all-around bad situation to be in.
Yeah, I don't think you could. There's no way to put it more perfectly than that. It's just like a lot of different factors being absolutely like so much pressure being put on the members of Garnet Valley right now. It's like, oh, that doesn't help. That really doesn't help. The kill contract going in favor of Central Bucks too, and it's Lana, same person from last round, to be able to save it this time is the one to open kind of. It's just so tough right now. It's not looking good. You guys can't see it, but there's not happy thoughts going out in chat right now from the side of Garnet Valley. Central Bucks are leading in rounds. They are leading in spirit. They're leading pretty much everywhere across the board. We're seeing nat 20s everywhere.
Yeah, you know, I was spitballing earlier when I was talking about just Garnet Valley not being able to recover after being unable to take the control of the pace out on the server. But the longer this goes, the more it does seem like that is no longer just a thought, but truly a reality. Once you start kind of having words amongst each other in between rounds and on the server nonetheless, you know that the mental is not quite in the space that it needs to be. Luckily, you still have a little bit of time to turn things around, but it has to start now. Nikto will be able to take down Drago. Potato Stalker will be taken down. I thought I had a chance to take those two players that were down over at Showers. Instead, it's Astro who takes down a pair, and Wagyu, the last one left alive. Garnet Valley finally get themselves another round on the board.
All right. We see a little bit of passion coming out from the side of Garnet Valley. I mean, both in words as well as in bullets. That's exactly what you need. Channel that energy and put it towards the round, and that's exactly what we saw there. Garnet Valley firing squads around every single corner outside Showers, back through short A towards the end of the round. And now we go on to what is the final round of the half, and what might be a little bit better of a result that we saw in Haven, because right now we're sitting at the 8-3 precipice. It could be a 9-3 again for Central Bucks. We could replicate exactly what we saw before, but Garnet Valley, I mean, they're a little bit heated up now. And with at least one ult, they still have a Brim ult, probably one of the most impactful ones that could exist on the team. And so far, no one's gone down just yet, so already a massive upgrade from before. But the problem is, slowing down at the extremities means Central Bucks have time to send their rotates over if they wish. And you can already see this deadlock just playing around through spawn, but these guys are walking in, not checking the corners, not looking too good. And Potato does only get one, though.
I thought was going to be able to find Nikto in time. Luckily, Nikto at least finds the one, but it's the magic fingers that have been brought out. The overdrive here for Drago that will find one. Wagyu finding theirs, and at this point, it will be all left to Wyvern, who will be taken away, and unfortunately, there's no recovering from that. It is indeed going to be that same 9-3 scoreline as we flip sides at the half.
Switching sides.
Well, we do see the same thing. It is a mirror scoreline from map 1 to map 2. I say mirror, technically photographed. So mirror would be opposite, but Garnet Valley are not that lucky. Central Bucks still, this time on the attack. It might not be a Haven. Like, if this... there's some saving grace for Garnet Valley is the fence that this map is a little bit defender-sided, in my opinion. I think it's definitely not as close to 3 sites. Right, so Central Bucks now having the harder job of it, but Garnet Valley, and once again, I didn't mention this before, but they don't have a Sentinel again. I was like looking at it on the attack, I'm like, oh, yeah, they're 5 men outside Showers, round number 1. Man, they don't have any strips or anything, and if they can make it work now, then fine, right? It's fine. But not having a Sentinel on the defense makes it a little bit harder, especially if your Jet can't find that one tap right off the bat, even though he does have one, but responded in kind double on the side of Central Bucks, but they have taken a lot of damage, but it doesn't matter if the kills don't come through. Only member left from Garnet Valley is back in spawn with only a classic, and he can't even find the first one to clean up.
Up to 10, here is Central Bucks South, and they truly do seem locked in. I mean, they've only allowed one, or the only time that they've allowed back-to-back rounds was after that second round was one, and well, pistols come back into play, and it's really not quite the same. But I mean, you feel like moving down the home stretch here, and especially the way that you've put together 9 of the last 10, it's really just a matter of time. It feels like Bind has turned into everything but a victory lap.
Yeah, this is might be Garnet Valley's worst nightmare right now. I'm not gonna lie. They have another very that's a nice shot. Can't lie. They had a martial law. Not anymore. There's weird, strange buys across the board again. Artie once again finds another kill with a rifle. One of the 2 on the team. Pistol's not gonna land. And now stuck in the teleporter is actually Wyvern, and he's just being watched here. Bodyguard. Not for him, though. Potato Stalker, another 1 dig. And in spawn is Beast. Final player gets a lot of bullets into the body. Drago doesn't manage to take him down, though. 5 alive for Central Bucks.
Another incredibly clean round. The momentum just continues to pile up here for CB South, our Fall Brawl Valorant champions. Well, it looks like they are now 2 rounds away from securing themselves a spot in the conference championship. where they will be waiting to take on, oh, hold on, I just lost it here on my tab. The winner of Lower Moreland versus Wyoming Valley West, and that will be going on at DeSales University in just 2.5 short weeks. So for now, let's see if maybe Garnet Valley can turn this thing on its head.
And Central wait. Good start, decent start for Beast. Outside of Showers, takes control, has the flank position now. And it's all up at the Brimstone to make sure that this flank doesn't come true. Drago, even with that little stun on himself, doesn't matter. He's got Wagyu there to make things happen in front of him, and the judge might be able to get one. But a 2-on-2 means that it's going to be all up to the individuals in this round to make it happen. The plant down on the ground right now. Drago even picking up the rifle and rotating all the way to defender spawn. Beast now in a 1v2. Has a Vandal to work with. There goes the tap, but he's going to be looking the wrong way. And Drago comes around the corner, finishes it off, and Central Bucks once again swiftly up to map points.
We can all agree losing sucks.
And unfortunately, because of the fact that they've continued to force over that Garnet Valley side, and understandably so, realizing how close CB South was, despite the fact that we're 4 rounds into the second half, we're still only going to have, I mean, minimal buys here coming across for Garnet Valley. And I think it's even a little telling in the fact that you have 3 players who aren't even worried about investing their 3K worth of credits. This is done and dusted. We might as well call it CB South will be advancing here as far as in our Colonial Conference.
I mean, it might be kind of harsh.
Oh, they brought up eventually.
It's still anyone's round. They did last minute get these investments in, and even with the Bulldogs making some stuff work. Hold on a second, flashes are good. Artie with a quick response, and another one. Not done yet. Central Bucks still want to be able to take this over the finish line, even if Garnet Valley ain't taking this serious. Central Bucks still are. 1-on-2 for Artie, stuck inside the middle of the tube, but doesn't have Spike under control. Barely has the bullets even. Takes a lot of damage, but Nikto even more. It's only 41 HP for the Jet, but can still take a shot and live. But the same can't be said for Wyvern. Nikto to save it for now. Garnet Valley stay alive.
Not gonna lie, I thought due to the fact that the 2 of them were just kind of standing and waiting, I thought that passiveness was actually going to work in Artie's favor, and it almost did. But Artie, we'll call it as it is, stepped out and unfortunately wasn't able to hit that first snapshot. If they did, that round turns their way, and it's a heck of a highlight shot to end things off. The good news for CB South is you are still on match point, and you get so many cracks at it.
8 chances. I can't do the accent, but you get the idea. Teleport instantly from Ethan over towards that A site to B. I mean, he does have a pretty decent line of sight now over here. He's holding the ultimate. It's gonna not hit Drago. I don't even know how that missed, but that's a dodge coming out from so many members of Central Bucks. Second teleport comes through. It's their own. They've taken out the entire population of A, and they're actually rotating. I don't think they know that A is empty, but even still, Nikto here taking care of business. He's got the spike down, knives out now, trying for a second, but he gets shot out of the sky. Central Bucks clean up 13-4 to win out the series 2-0 versus Garnet Valley.
And not gonna lie, feels very almost fulfilling in a shot of redemption for Artie, who had the chance to clutch it out in the round before to be able to pick up the last kill here. And it was Artie who led the charge for the Titans here. An ACS of 310. Potato Stalker right behind him at 302. Really doing a great job of holding it down between those two. And while we can say it was a little bit closer than map number 1, it really was CB South's server from the word go, and Garnet Valley just happened to be playing on it.
Yeah, I think it's, again, it's so tough to be able to look at a game like this, because it's like, once again, we apologize for how much it devolved, but I guess this kind of things happens in esports. So yeah. Central Bucks, we just want to say congratulations for them to be able to make it into the finals, like you mentioned. Playing at LAN is just, I gotta admit, it's one of the best scenario. Like, I'm not gonna say I've played at LAN, but definitely been to LAN. It's definitely a super fun a moment to have with your team. So congratulations to them for making it to DeSales. So we're gonna see them there. How long has it been, or how long will it be again?
It'll be on the 20th, so 2.5 weeks from now. Not this Saturday, not next Saturday, but the one thereafter, the Saturday before Christmas. And if for those y'all who are going out to the Sal's, I'm hoping that I'll be hanging out there with you guys. We'll have to wait and see where we get assigned, but I'm thinking y'all just might see your boy. As far as for now, though, Central Buck South will be waiting to see who's the winner between Lower Moreland versus Wyoming Valley West to see who their matchup is in that Colonial Conference Championship here in 2.5 weeks. That was originally going to be our second matchup on the day, but due to the fact that matchup has gotten moved or rescheduled, we're actually going to be moving down to Division 3, where we're going to have Ephrata going up against Twin Valley. That should be kicking off here in about 10 minutes or so. We'll see if we can get the players in here a little bit quicker if possible. Otherwise, though, grab yourself a snack, grab yourself a drink. On the other side, we'll be back with another best of 3 Valorant playoff action here at the PIEA.